energy in my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win.
Hey, how's it going? It's Larry Streeter, CEO of Wikipedia, and I'm an accomplishment country. Today I'm with my friend, my studio partner, my brother from another, Sundjata. Sundjata, go ahead and give a little introduction to yourself and let people know who you are and what it is you do.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Michael Sundjata Johnson of Photos by Sundjata over here at Shutter Brothers Studios, as you can see, 1527 Ottawa Boulevard, Chicago Heights, Illinois, 60411. Photographer, about 5 years in the business as a professional photographer, but don't really consider myself a professional because it's an ongoing process as far as learning. So, yeah, just constantly learning.
Okay, so you have, it was just sounding fine, but now it seems like maybe, is your Bluetooth still connected?
Yes, it is.
It's like it's doing the echoing. It sounds like your computer microphone again.
Oh, really? Hello?
It was.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Is it back?
Okay. I just muted and unmuted. I don't know what should be done.
No, it's still going, messing up. Oh, man.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. It sounds great.
Now I can't hear you. Oh, wow.
So I think you should be able to do both through your headphones. So you should be able to set it, go to the settings, the little settings icon, and just make sure that the microphone and the audio is coming through that Bluetooth device.
All right. I don't know what's going on here.
All right, hold on a second. Let me call you.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so we're good. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so we're good. Mic check. Good.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's get started. So how did you get into photography?
I always like taking pictures, just socially with family, friends, things like that. But, starting out, growing up, I wanted to be a basketball player. Obviously, that didn't work. I was going to be the next Spud Webb, Muggsy Bogues. And then I grew up playing African drums. So I've always been in an entertainment business in front of an audience and things like that. As an athlete as well as a musician. And, in my ventures, just always took pictures, but never really took it serious. But not until maybe, let's say 6.5 years ago, took a picture of some family friends, and the way I captured the subjects touched them in a way that they never saw themselves before. And it made me realize that, okay, I actually do have a talent for capturing moments or showing people a side of them that they rarely show the rest of the world. And that's their inner beauty, their inner essence.
Right.
Because when you look at an image, the average person just looks at the picture. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty. That's great. But when you are able to show your vulnerable side and people actually can see it and to be able to capture it, just from a professional level, even on a personal level, to be able to capture someone and they see that, oh wow, I am beautiful, I am amazing.
Yeah.
I realize, okay, I really need to look more into this. It's a talent, a hidden talent that I didn't even know I had. So it was just a matter of learning to embellish on that talent.
Okay. So how do you, with that said, how do you think you were able to transition that passion that you found within yourself over into a business?
Well, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit.
Hmm.
I in my professional career, I've always been in sales. So it was just sales and marketing. Sales is marketing. So it was once I got and still learning. Once you learn the basics of your art, your talent, and your craft, it was a matter of taking what I already knew from a business standpoint and apply that to my talent.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and that's what a lot of people think. Okay, you can just get by on talent, and the money's just going to come, and this and that. It's not even about the money.
Mhm.
It's about being happy and being and everyone has their own definition of success. People want to be rich. People want to be wealthy. There's a big significant difference from being rich and being wealthy.
Right.
People want to be happy. My definition of being happy and successful is being able to time and time again change someone's life in a positive manner. And through imagery, I'm able to do that. That's successful to me. And being able to pay ComEd and NICOR is an added plus, you
Right. Yeah.
know. But being able to um, change people's lives in a way that's unforeseen and make a difference, beknownst to them.
Hmm.
Again, from a personal level, even a professional level, I've worked with models, professional models. I've worked with, you know, my neighbors down the street, and I like to say every time I've made a difference in their lives, a positive difference in their life, to show them something that they haven't seen. But it's hit or miss. But I'm over 65%. I'll say that, and that's a good number. Um, if that answers your question.
Yeah. 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 More than accurate. It's definitely giving me some ideas that definitely some great information. Um, you know, I typically would ask, how do you feel that things that you did before prepared you for now? And you pretty much answered that. And by answering that, I would love for you to share a little information or maybe your philosophy on, because you're right. You can't just say, oh, I have talent and automatically I'm going to make money just because I'm talented. But you have to incorporate the business aspect, the sales aspect. So what is your philosophy when it comes to sales? What makes you successful in sales? What would you say is the secret sauce to making having success in sales?
Well, sales is I take a lot of experiences I've had growing up in life, um, and incorporate it into what I do now.
Hmm.
From being an athlete, from being in sales. I mean, I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, things that I've gotten from a sales guru, Zig Ziglar, reading his books in the past, to listening to motivational speakers when I used to go to basketball camps, Doug Collins. Even from the rappers, if you look at a lot of Jay-Z films or documentaries, he speaks and motivates. It's just in his own way.
Right.
And one coach and trainer, he used an analogy, and this is years old, years ago. I was in college, and he was training a young man who wanted to be this great running back football player. And he asked this guy, begged him, ex football NFL player, if he'll train him. He said, "Sure, I'll train you." He went up, meet me at 5 o'clock in the morning at the beach. They met him at the beach. All right, put him out in the water. Said, "Go in the water." He held his head underwater. All right.
Yeah.
This is a life lesson. He held his head underwater. He's struggling. He's fighting to get up. He's fighting to get up. He couldn't breathe. Once he couldn't get up and the guy he literally pushed him off of him. And he told him, that's lesson number one. If you attack your dream as hard as you fought for your last breath or to catch that breath, you are going to be successful. Right. So you take that attitude in everything you do and you're passionate about, you're going to be successful regardless of what the naysayers may say, the people that are, if they say it against you, something against you in your face or behind your back, especially with social media, you never know who's watching you. Right. Like, I don't know who's watching this right now. But, don't allow anyone to stop you from progression. Mm-hmm. And in myself, I stay up late and I'm up early. That's me getting getting out this water from drowning to get that breath. I'm either studying, I'm listening to television. I don't even watch the news, but I force myself to watch it once a week just so I can see what the weather is going to be. But, I'm studying. I'm talking to friends of mine within the industry, my counterparts, my peers, about my craft. I'm reading books. I'm studying. I have these online tutorials. I'm constantly studying. I'm working on my current projects. I'm constantly investing in my craft, Right. And it's when I have an appointment, I'm here at the least an hour ahead of my appointment to prepare for that appointment, sure. Because things do pop up, and I used to get frustrated and irritated when, you have the response. I had a lot going on. Some things aren't excusable, but I tend, all right, we all have a lot going on. Right. Push it away. That's just deterring me from my focus and what I'm supposed to be doing, because evidently I need to see within myself, what am I doing wrong? Or what can I do better to push to get that next breath of air? Yes. So, it's not honing in on what can be perceived as a negative, but find the positive and push that and go towards that. So just taking things like that into account. And then also from my sales experience, you're only as good as your next sale. I had a great shoot. Yes, I got published in a magazine. Oh, okay. Now I got published in an international publication. All right, that's great. Now, what have you done for me lately? What have I done for myself, my craft, and my family lately? So maintaining that attitude to progress and always do better than my last shot is part of what drives me on a daily basis to get better in my craft. Yes, and it's something I want to add there that you said was very important about accountability. Basically, not making excuses. My mom, when I was younger, she would always, she wouldn't allow me to make excuses. Like, I couldn't. It wasn't no such thing as an excuse. I would say something, she'd be like, "That's an excuse. That's an excuse." So it's difficult for me to make excuses for things. If I do something wrong, I'll just own up to it, and it forces me to want to self-correct and be better. Be self-aware. And also, I wanted to say, I was going to joke. I got in here, I say around, it was actually before 4 o'clock to try to get my stuff set up. And you were already in there. So I had to go to another room to get everything set up. So you were well over an hour in there. You definitely great with time. Oh, man. Time is non-refundable. That's one of my quotes, man. One of my sayings. Time is non-refundable, because when we were just talking before we went on, and I can't get that back. You can't get that back. Right. It's all a memory now. And that's part of what makes what I do even more important. Yeah. Because you can even retract those moments and everything comes back to you in your mind. But more importantly, that feeling you had at that time comes back as well. So what I do is very I consider very, very important, because it's not just taking a picture. It's capturing a moment, it's capturing an emotion, it's capturing a feeling, of happiness, sadness, whatever you may be going through at that time. I had the pleasure of shooting a young lady who had breast cancer, and we were shooting, and I just saw very dramatic lighting, and you know, I bought this bag of like 100 and some odd just palm leaves, fake palm leaves. Didn't know what to really do with it, but I knew I can do something creative with it. So we grabbed it, and she, placed them over her scars for a few frames. And then she took them off, and she had a moment. But at that time, I just came up with a title of that particular session and called it Rebirth.
Yeah,
And
let me tell you. Check your settings on again
all right,
for the audio.
let's see here. Everything looks the same.
It's doing the like the echo.
echo.
Yeah, maybe just the internet for a second.
Hello?
Yep. All right. And keep continue on. I have a few questions from Diana. I want to ask you a few things, but
Okay.
complete what you finish your story.
Yeah. So, prior to that, that session, I called it Rebirth. And believe it or not, she took a lot of those images with my permission, and entered a few magazine publications and gotten it published, to where she had a full write-up about her story, and the struggle of not the struggle, but the growth she had from her journey dealing with breast cancer, and the different emotions that she's gone through, not only with herself but her family. And it's very touching story. So yeah, we're not just sitting here pointing and clicking.
Yeah.
But yes, Diana.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Diana. She also says, "This is the great information. It's important to be prepared, and consistent, and always do your best." That's my mother actually. That's my mom.
Oh, hi,
All
Mom.
right. She also wants to know, how was the transition from being an employee to being an entrepreneur?
Well, I think it was fairly easy, because, just based for me, because of my background being in sales. When you're in sales, you're pretty much, you dictate your outcome. Yeah, depends on if you're doing a 100% commission position, or if you have a salary plus commission. But nonetheless, to gain the success and the accolades that you may want, you still have to put forth the effort, and you still have to work. It's not like you can sit stagnant and just collect a check. So everything from the sales standpoint carried over into an entrepreneurial position, just because you still have to have that drive to push forward and do better than your last, and better than your best. That's one of the things my mom instilled in my sister and I, and where you can do better than this. That helped drive me when I was playing basketball as a young athlete. She wasn't into sports. I love basketball. I really love basketball, and I tried to play football. No, you're not doing that. Stick with that. Stick with basketball. But she never let me feel, okay, yeah, you're not going to be 6 feet tall. But your heart and your abilities are even greater than, those guys that are 6'3" or what have you. She didn't say it directly, but she instilled in me the information, or the strength and emotional strength to keep pushing.
Right.
She kept my sister and I active in the African drum and dance culture. She kept me in gymnastics, the after school programs, even to drum and bugle corps. You know, she made sure we had something to do.
Yes.
And with those positive people in my life, even one of my I went to St. Mill Elementary School in the west side of Chicago, and one of the first Black female principals there was very, very strong, to the extent you were not allowed to walk through the hall, especially as we had Latinos, and it was a people of color Catholic school, but you know, you are not allowed to walk in the halls with your head down. No, you be proud, regardless if you're a janitor or if you are the assistant principal in that school. No one was allowed to walk with your head down.
Right.
Even if you're doing wrong. Hey, get your punishment, but you better have your head up. I
Yes.
mean, literally. And she was that teacher that had the ruler, the long ruler that had that steel blade on it.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't cut you, but she would whack the mess out of you. And I love her to death for that. I love her to life, excuse me. Um, but having those strong people in my life, help prepare me and instill in me, okay, regardless of what society may say you can't do, no,
Right.
you can rise above it and achieve whatever goals you want to do. Only you can stop you.
Yes. Yeah. You made some great points, and I love this. I always want to come back to what parents did for entrepreneurs, people that are self-starters that pave their own road to success. And there's always the common thread that their parents supported them and kept them busy. Like you said, my mom also really kept me busy. Never, I had to have summertime to myself. She would put me in these programs that I didn't want to go to. However, I would always be happy that I went, and I always had a great time. And anything that I wanted to do, she would support me in that. And I think that for any parents watching this, it's very important that support your children and whatever it is they want to do, and also instill them what you said, which is don't let them give up on things. Don't let them, say jump from thing to thing. If they say they want to do something, they should follow through with it. So that's a great point that you made. You mentioned not too long ago how you got published for that picture you did. Well, the young lady submitted it, but I know now for a fact that you go for these opportunities a lot. You've been published multiple times. How do you go about doing that? Like getting your photography published?
Well, I basically, like any other opportunity, I'll start with. I mean, my process is very, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a concept that I may feel passionately about, or something that I may want to try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it turns out a heck of a lot better than I thought it would be. But I start with a process. I try to comprise my team. Um, my team being a hairstylist, if needed, Not kind of fickle on hair, because not fickle, but skeptical, because a lot of people are very particular about their hair. So, try to make sure the team is in place. Makeup artists, if I need a stylist based on what it is I'm trying to do. We do have a small, intimate studio space, but if I'm trying to create a scene, I'll take this corner right here and make a living room out of it. Just throw a end table, a lamp, and 2 chairs. I've had curtains up. Photography is about line of sight. It's your perception, and that's why I love lighting and why I study so hard. Because of that, you can set the tone and the mood of what your viewer sees. They don't need to know. They wouldn't have any idea that it was shot in our small, intimate studio.
Right.
All they see is a window, curtains, and bushes in the back. That's actually a gate with leaves just wrapped around it. But the lighting sets the tone for that particular concept. So making sure people are in place, people that are responsible, the right talent that's suiting the look that's needed. And then it's, things that I'm responsible for. And when it all comes together, I try to submit it to publications, magazines, to see if it's worthy of, being within their issue. And I've been blessed and lucky enough to have that happen a number of times, and grow. And, that was last year, this year, but I'm also still looking to go to the next level, within my craft, and dealing with more corporate businesses, as well as um, more agency talent, and people on a different level, um, to where I can increase my creativity with an actual budget,
Right.
because it gets expensive. Equipment gets very expensive, especially when you're trying to do certain things. It's very quick to outgrow the capabilities of what you have, especially starting out. I mean, there are ways to do it. It's just putting in the due diligence to do it. So,
Yes.
as you know, we actually need to clean up again, bro.
Yeah, I want to on that note, there is, you figured out, I mean, you have like a full dressing room, a wardrobe, so many props. How can people learn from that, as far as, working with a small budget? What are some of your little tricks?
Oh, this is very simple. I'll be driving, and I've always actually been a big fan of garage sales. One
Yeah,
man's junk is another man's treasure,
yeah.
literally. If you know what you're looking for, as far as the name of items that are quality items, and for me, the dressing room area evolved just like everything else, simply from, when you have talent and you ask, did they bring, you know, such and such a piece, this and that. Even when you send the information out, um, to them, oh, I forgot it. And it's very easy to, oh, I left it on the table, or it's on the nightstand, or what have you.
Yeah.
I said, okay, we have a thrift store right around the corner. Let me run in there. I know this is here. It stays in the studio. Let me get this. And then, especially if I'm doing a concept that I'm passionate about, or something, a particular look I'm trying to gain, then I'll go ahead and it's good to know I can go to the back room and pull out different looks, or provide something that the talent may have forgotten or didn't have.
Hmm.
I tell them all the time, if you have this look, great, certain items, but don't use it as an excuse to go shopping.
Yeah.
In that sense, I kind of be in everybody's pocket, but I know how it is, to go out and just buy something, use it once, and then, oh, what the heck am I going to do with it now?
Right.
Um, not saying I want to bear that expense, but I got it, and I know I'm not going to use it once. You know, what I try to do is, in preparing for any type of production or shoot that I'm doing, and this is something a good friend of mine and mentor, David Shepard, um, I learned from him, is putting a mood board together. And this is part of being prepared and helping, not only myself, but everyone that I work with, be accountable. All right, prior to the shoot, okay, this is the location, this is the look and feel that we're going for. We're going to have XYZ number of looks. This is the team's information, so you can see the work that they do. Everything is kind of lined up, and all you have to do is read the information. And then when you come in, everything goes smoothly. And then once we get that done, if it goes well, you have extra time, so you can be even more creative, because, as you know, especially with your videography, things evolve. If you start off in A, and then you look up, that transitions to all the way to P,
Yeah.
just like that. So, and then you're like, wow, I didn't think about that when I was writing it down, but now that we're doing it, ooh, what if I change this light over here? Ooh, can you put this on? Take that off and put this on, mix, match, and so on. I did a shoot, and I get out your ear. I did a shoot this past weekend, and I was inspired by looking at YouTube. There's a designer. He mix and match couture garments with athletic wear. I said, oh, that's pretty cool. All right. I had a designer actually, gift the studio a couple of gowns and a couple of dresses and things like that. So I was like, all right, yeah, I want to do that look. Turned out phenomenal. Turned out phenomenal. And I literally jumped on that. We shot this weekend. I did a submission on Monday, and the submission was approved within 5 minutes. And that was based on planning everything out. I attribute that to planning everything out and then expanding on it once we got to it, because it started runway and just a skirt and sports top. And I said, you know what? Put on one sneaker and one heel. Now give me these jumps. Okay. Oh, we're gonna add this purse now. In fact, take the skirt, put it on your head, and have the breeze on. You know, and we got crazy with it. We had a lot of fun. And I believe when we work or create, we have fun. Because if you don't have fun, it's going to show in your work, and then you wasted your time.
All right, your microphone, real quick, is acting up again. So maybe reset or whatever you did before.
Oh, jeez. Hello.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So I did want to touch on that. I did want to touch on the mood board. Like you passed that information on to me. I'm blessed to have you to get information from as I'm beginning to practice photography, and that is very true. Like being prepared. There was once upon a time when I would always improvise. Like even in my videos, I would just get there and be like, I will figure it out. But what I learned was that being prepared, you can improvise to some extent, but being prepared is very important. And especially when it comes to photography, I've learned to, before a shoot, go look up some poses of some things I want to accomplish. Thanks to you and that mood board idea. That's definitely very helpful. It's very, very helpful, especially starting out, not knowing what you really want to do. It helps you evolve. And also, so I wanted to ask you, so we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I did want to ask you, for myself, I have trouble with this. I'm sure there's other photographers out there that may have trouble with this as well. What are some tips that you would give for making your subjects comfortable during a shoot, like early on? It usually takes me a while to warm them up, but what are some tips you may have?
Well, everyone's different, and it's be yourself. Be yourself. For all personalities. Again, taking a tip from my sales experience, people like themselves, so emulate who they are to an extent. If you have someone that's a type A personality, okay, you can't be super jokey and all this and that. And I'm a silly person. I like to joke around and things like that. But if I know I have a client that is the opposite, I can't sit and crack jokes and play around. Get to the point. Get on. Let's do this. If you have someone that's joking all the time, then all right, you can laugh and joke and have fun, but find a way to ease the work that needs to be done in without being rude and intrusive. As far as just in the shoot themselves, especially with beginners, what I have two different go-tos that I work with. As far as comfort level is, I start off with headshots. If it's regardless of the client, everyone wants portraits, headshots done when they're doing their photo shoots. They can use it for their business, they can use it for their social media portfolio, what have you. A second is I picked up from a photographer out of Australia his name is Peter Coulson. And a lot of his shots are similar to Levi commercials or Calvin Klein commercials with stressed jeans, holy blue jeans and a tank top shirt or something. He goes way beyond that, but the premise is the same. get your client or your talent comfortable in front of the camera first. Then you will have better results in the long run as your time with them, moves along. Because once they're comfortable, you have better imagery. You get a lot more done. And you look up whatever time you have set has passed just like that, and they can't believe it, and they're like, "Wow, it's over already." And well, you can stay longer, but just it's a great way to warm up the talent to me, to go one of those two different ways, based on their personality when they come in. So
Yeah.
that's my spill on it.
All right. And one more point I wanted to touch on. It just recap on something that you said earlier about always improving. We were speaking about that the other
Oh, hold
day.
on,
I was
hold on.
okay. Okay.
You turned on.
You hear me? Okay. 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 There you
I said you had turned Siri on somehow. I don't know.
go. No, we were speaking about this the other
All
day,
right.
and that's why you're great. And I'm like this as well, as far as always improving, always studying and trying to get better. Never seeing myself as up here. It's like I'm always striving to get feel my potential, and learn new things. And I think that as a business owner is very important. Not only just as a business owner, whatever you want to be great at in life in general, or mastering yourself, there's always something new that you can learn to improve.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to
No, I
add
was
that
just.
you said you touched on that earlier in the beginning of the interview. So I wanted to just go back to that point. It was a very good point. And I want
Yeah.
to. Go ahead.
No, finish.
No, I want to share something. So you go ahead. I want to share. I got a little surprise or whatnot. I want to share something, but you
Oh,
go ahead. Yeah.
okay. Well, dude, for me, I utilize every resource I have available, from yourself, to Ogunshala, who's our other photographer, studio partner, to David. I mean, anyone that I think or know can assist and help me. And I've been blessed enough to where I've surrounded myself with people that are just as open as I am about sharing information.
Mhm.
I'm on the phone with you guys late at night,
Yeah.
and the average person is knocked out. But hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Oh, how does this work? You know,
Yeah.
um, changing my website domain just because it's they are working with one that's a lot more efficient than what I'm currently using. Um, and just in growth in general. The information is out there. It's just a matter of seeking it and then asking the question. Never be afraid to ask any question. There aren't
Yeah.
any dumb questions.
Yeah.
Always ask. If you want to know, ask. Closed mouths don't get fed, as our elders used to say. Um, and just what does it cost to try?
Yeah.
I do live by the term or the action. Um, I live by faith, and I'm not afraid to fail. That's my first attempt in learning.
Hmm.
First attempt in learning. I want to fail because I'm going to learn. That means when I succeed, I need something else to go fail at, so I can even go to the next level. So I'm always looking to grow and better not only myself as a person, but myself as an artist and in my craft and my profession.
Awesome, man. I'm proud. I'm so proud to know you, and hearing you talk is
Same
is
here.
is a testament to know, like, the mindset and the wavelength that you're on is what's important for evolution. Period. Just surrounding yourself with the right people, as you said. I'm going to share something with you guys. I want to share Sundjata in action. This is some video work I've done. We did this quite some time ago. I'm kind of share. I'm gonna share. This one is the I wanted to select the last two, but this is this is one we did at the church, the abandoned church. So I'll go ahead and share this. All right, let me get this going.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to shoot this church here. And church from these family from the house.
Oh wait, I got it.
So let's check it out. Be interesting. Larry, she's gonna be one of those. All right. It's Richie. So you have to be conscious of how far you are away from the subject and how you try to Sure.
I'm Marie. Nice to meet you guys.
What's going on, y'all? Going pretty good. Let me introduce you to some of the photographers we got on deck. We got Shine. What's going on, man? We got Sundjata.
Hey, how you doing? Photos by Sundjata. Photos by Sundjata. SUNDJATA.com.
All right. Y'all. So we going on to the next set. All right. So they're trying to get this shot here. Check it out. I think I'm lost.
Oh, dang, dude. That's funny. Wow.
Yeah,
You don't throw anything away.
That's a rough looking at. Hold on a second.
You don't throw anything away.
Yeah, that's I wonder if yeah, that's kind of rough. That's rough, but that's evolution. But you on my evolution. But no, I just wanted to a little bit just to show how you always find in these crazy locations. You're real good. That's that you do real good at that too. But yeah, thanks. Man, I had a great time talking to you. I'm sure we could talk forever. We need to talk again. Yeah, there's a lot to learn here. But you know, success is not a destination; it's a lifestyle. And you guys focus on your dreams, and you know, like Sundjata said, you know, want it as bad as you want to breathe, and be persistent. Don't make any excuses. Accept accountability, and you will be successful.
Indeed.